Hello, I'm Tim Black. You're tuning to Tim's Take Live. If you're in the Ferguson section of Missouri, if you're anywhere near where they're protesting, if you are anywhere near it and you're involved in the looting, stop this bullshit. Stop it. Stop coming up on shit. This is not the time to come up on anything. Stop it. It is some sad, repugnant shit for you to take advantage of this situation. Now, I want to make it simple and plain for anybody out there who's sitting on the fence on this issue. I support Mike Brown. I support us getting to the bottom of what happened to him. I want to know where the bullets came from. I want to know how far away when he was shot. I want to know if he was shot in the back. I want to know all that. But you're not helping. Running up in liquor stores, stealing shit. You're not helping. Robbing beauty salons. You are making things worse. And you are pathetic. Your actions right now are giving ammunition to the cops to treat you any kind of way. Your actions right now are what creates Mike Brown's. Do you understand? The shit that you're doing right now creates future Mike Browns. I don't know if you could get that through your fucking head, but that's what it does. You are not helping. So you get $100 worth of liquor, but you make all of your community look like assholes. And I know that's not right because there's some good people in that community. I have a friend that lives only 2 miles from there. There are good people in Missouri, good people in St. Louis that you're making look like shit. And you know what? There are good people in this country who share your skin color, who don't like what the hell you're doing, who you're making look like fucking idiots. And I know we should all be judged as individuals. I know that. But we aren't. And it's unfortunate and it's not fair when it's another group of people doing some shit. We don't look at it and say all white people rob the country blind like Wall Street, even though probably 95% of the Wall Street fuckers that killed us in 2008 were white. No one looks at them and says, oh man, white people are all thieves. They can't be trusted. But we tend to do that. Right? That tends to happen when we got a bunch of blacks, well, it looks like mostly blacks, if not all blacks, running in liquor stores or running in fucking beauty salons and stealing shit. So it looks that way. For some reason, we don't connect the dots. My job here is just to open your mind up to something. And I know you don't know me. I'm not big like that. I'm not Al Sharpton. I'm not Jesse Jackson. I'm just a guy with a small audience. But I'm going to need you. If you're listening right now and you happen to be in that area and you're thinking about going out tonight, I need you not to do it. I need you to go in the house. I need you not to come up on no new shit. I need you to stay out of harm's way. I need you to let this process play out. I need you to wait for this autopsy report. I need you to wait until we can get this into the legal system. I know what's frustrating. I wasn't there and I didn't witness it live. All I'm looking at are clips. But that's what we need you to do. Because right now, what's going on there, it looks horrible. You're hurting my son. Because there are people watching this travesty, this violence, this uproar, and they're forming opinions. And through your actions, they're going to form opinions about my son. And that's wrong, but that's what they do. That's what people do. That's what happens in America. They don't judge us based on the best of us. They judge us based on the worst of us. And you're a part of that now, whether you want to be or not. You're a part of that injustice. You're a part of that stereotype now. So I'm going to need you brothers, sisters of all colors who were there in Ferguson to stand down. What you're doing right now is not a good look. You are hurting yourselves. You're hurting others. Please go home. This is no way to show your respect for Mike Brown or his family or the rest of the world. All right? I'm Tim Black. Thanks for tuning in. I hope somebody hears me.